There's so much of it around that often people don't really know what it is, but essentially anything that's design based but then moves is motion graphics. My name is Nik Hill. I'm a motion designer and founder of 23rd C. Grew up in Bristol, super sick city, so I'd see like lots of street art around, and I was just like, I really want to do that. I was like skateboarding as well, and so I had like a black book of sketches that used to get passed around. People were just loving it, which is quite cool. One day I sat down and watched an advert. My mum was like, oh, you pay more attention to the adverts than you do the TV programs. Like, that's kind of funny. And I was like, oh, I wonder what is that discipline? I ran upstairs and just Googled. The first link that came up was like London Metropolitan University, BA Motion Graphic, applied, and that was that. There was a lot of film work being shot around London, so working at Territory was awesome. During my time there, I got to work on Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers, Age of Ultron, Blade Runner. One of the ideas I had when setting up 23rd C is the progression of having a more physical component to design briefs. BBC2 reached out, and so they showed us this reference, and there was a lot of talk about like using Houdini, using Cinema 4D, and it was always like, nah, that's not quite right. Can it feel more like fluid? Can it be more like this? And I was just like, why don't we just shoot it? And then we did 2-day shoot with real paint. When the executive creative director saw it, he was like, that's it, love it. That was a great project to like really embody this constant desire to create value and embark on projects that are just things that we want to do. This is partly why the MSI project is kind of interesting, because it's taking that concept of mixing digital and physical and pushing it even bigger. So we've been using the P100 to create a piece of motion graphics. We thought it'd be quite a good way to like put it to work. Essentially of like geometric forms changing state, we're going to have that on a screen and then 3D print and create this sculpture and then shoot inside of it. This is all going to be sort of mirrored and reflective. So we'll get like this real life kaleidoscopic fractal tunnel. I don't know if it's going to work, but I quite like that. As somebody who's like built all their own machines previously, it was so nice to just like literally unpack, play, and then get creating. Like, what's important to me is like, does it feel good? Is it stable? And can I spend my time creating and not worrying about hardware and software? And the machine was doing that for me. Pretty damn good. But actually, really, the monitor for me is just the thing that's making the whole process like a lot more just enjoyable. I've always worked on these standard aspect ratio screens, but there's something really satisfying about having this wider monitor actually filling up your entire field of view. It just feels more right. My advice to anyone looking to get started in motion graphics is don't bring your dog to work. Just kidding, I love you. Study, practice, and find your own voice. I think it's important to have whatever you do rooted in some sort of design theory, but also know your software so that you can articulate your ideas. And then most importantly is like use that knowledge to find how do you express your voice that is new and authentically you. I'm a motion designer and I create with MSI.